The Rhodes House, Alabama softball. The Crimson Tide about to take on Tennessee. Game number 2 of this 3-game series between the Tide and the Lady Vols. The starting lineup being introduced to the capacity crowd here at Rhodes Stadium. Before we give it to you, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network. The starters are presented by DCHL System. DCHL System has been providing quality and compassionate health care in West Alabama for nearly 100 years. DCH is a champion for your health and proud supporters of the Crimson Tide. The visiting Tennessee Lady Vols, number 3 in the country, enter today's game with an overall record of 36-8, 15-4 in conference play, 15-2 in true road games on the year is Tennessee, and they're on a 3-game win streak for their head coach Karen Weekly after winning yesterday's game 5-0 over Alabama. The starting lineup looks like this for the Lady Vols. Kiki Malloy, the center fielder, will lead things off. Jada Pooney, designated player, batting second. McKenna Gibson, third base, batting third. Batting fourth is the left fielder, Riley West. Sophia Nugent will catch and bat fifth. Batting sixth, Taylor Pannell, the right fielder. Batting seventh, Destiny Rodriguez, the second baseman. Julia Kutsoyanopoulos, the first baseman, will bat eighth. And batting ninth, the shortstop, Laura Mealer. They'll face in the circle for Alabama, the right-handed freshman from Phoenix, Arizona, Jocelyn Brisky. Brisky on the year with a 2.72 ERA, a 7-2 record, 15th appearance and 8th start of the year for Brisky. She has 3 complete games. She's pitched 56 2/3 innings, 51 hits, 27 runs, 22 of those earned. She's walked 19, struck out 52. Opponents batting .229 against Brisky on the year. As I bring in my broadcast partner, Gray Robertson. Brisky, the reigning co-freshman of the week for what she did at Arkansas last weekend. What will she need to do here this weekend against a very powerful Tennessee offense?
Well, Patrick Murphy mentioned it. The important thing is getting ahead, but I think bigger picture, it's going to be limiting the attempts that Tennessee has to pass the bat down, because Brisky always kind of gives up a base runner here and there, but with Tennessee's pitching, they don't need to have 3 or 4 innings where they pass the baton. Sometimes they really only need 1 or 2. So you've got to make sure that if somebody reaches, you don't let that parlay into something else. But for Brisky, this is the biggest start of her career so far. So the other thing, keep the nerves down.
We're waiting for our friends at ESPN to tell us we can go. Madison Shipman and Caleb Rowe discussing things.
Oh, what year is it?
First pitch to Kiki Malloy is in there for a called strike, and we are underway. Defensively for Alabama, Jenna Johnson in left, Kristen White in center, Lauren Johnson in right, Dowling at third, Cahalan at short, Hevlin at second, Broadfoot at first, Valentine catching, and Clark the DP. The 0-1 outside, 1 ball, 1 strike on Kiki Malloy, who's batting .364, 48 of 132, 54 runs scored, 12 doubles, 2 triples, 10 homers, and 24 runs driven in.
Last night, 2 for 3 with 3 runs scored, set a record.
The 1-1 is low, 2-1.
Now has scored the most runs in Tennessee history. Not a surprise, considering that she has been downright explosive all throughout her career. But one thing I was going to mention, the defense has to be exceptional tonight behind Brisky.
The 2-1 fouled away, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And we were talking about the defense, not just not make errors, make the big play, make the special play.
Yeah, Kaylee Tao and I were discussing on TV. It's not about just making the good plays. It's about making the plus plays. Tennessee did that last night. Alabama needs 2 tonight.
2-2, and that's a ground ball to second. A diving stop by Callie Hevlin. The throw is in time to get Malloy, and that's one of those plus plays that we're talking about right there.
Absolutely. Kiki Malloy waits on the changeup and actually pulls it in a perfect spot. But Callie Hevlin had a great first step, and she was able to range over, make the stop, and still take the time to collect herself to get the very fast Malloy at first. Great first out.
So 1 out now for Zayda Pooney, the first pitch. And that's a chopper foul down the third baseline. 0-1 on Pooney, who's batting .298. 34 of 114, 16 runs scored with 3 doubles, 12 homers, and 35 runs driven in. And we were talking with Brian Rice from the Ball Radio Network before the game, and he's talking about how Zayda's finally feeling like herself again, just in time to play Alabama.
Yeah,
so that's great.
Of course. I mean, she was already good at Oklahoma, then came to Tennessee and got even better. And she was great last night.
The 0-1. A little bit low, 1-1.
3 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a run scored. And I just want to pinpoint, Malloy and Pooney, that's 5 of Tennessee's 10 hits and 4 of the 5 runs scored. So that was one of the big differences in game 1.
The 1-1 pitch. Low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Umpires for today's ball game, Marty Abazetian is behind home plate, Paul Eds at first, and William Lopez, the third base umpire. The 2-1 to Pooney. Check swing foul, 2-2. The first inning is presented by Barclay GMC of Tuscaloosa. For over 42 years, Barclay makes it easy online at barclaygmc.com.
Pooney a little bit late on that swing. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw a changeup here from Brisky.
The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. We need down on strikes, and there's 2 gone.
No changeup. This is just a hard drop. And if you watch that game against Arkansas last weekend, the drop was the most potent pitch that Brisky utilized. Arkansas couldn't figure it out. And so far, so good on that pitch, getting a talented hitter like Pooney to chase something well out of his own.
2 out for McKenna Gibson. She steps in. First pitch. High for ball 1. Gibson batting .353, 48 of 136, 16 runs scored, 7 doubles, 7 homers, and 39 runs driven in.
1 for 3 with a couple ribbies last night.
The 1-0. Called strike on the outside corner, 1-1. Alabama leads the all-time series 41-31 over Tennessee after yesterday's 5-0 Lady Vol win. Here at the Rhodes House, the Tide holds a 21-8 advantage. The 1-1. 2 hopper to second. Heflin's there. She makes a stop in the throw, and Jocelyn Brisky gets the Lady Vols 1-2-3 here in the first.
Well, one of the things that we've talked about here, I've talked about on TV, if Alabama can get out of the top of the first inning without things getting squirrely, then you kind of know that you're in for a game. And after how last night's first inning went, big-time statement by Jocelyn Brisky to start off this one.
No runs, no hits, no errors, no runners left for Tennessee. We head to the bottom of the first. Tennessee nothing. Alabama coming to bat here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from their field. We move to the bottom of the first inning. No score between Tennessee and Alabama. And here is a DCH starting lineup. For the 17th ranked Alabama Crimson Tide, the starters are presented by DCH Health System. DCH Health System has been providing quality and compassionate health care in West Alabama for nearly 100 years. DCH is a champion for your health and proud supporters of the Crimson Tide. Alabama 31-13 overall, 8-11 in conference play, 17-7 here at the Rhodes House on a 2-game losing streak following the loss last night to Tennessee. And the starting lineup for Alabama's head coach Patrick Murphy looks like this. Kinley Cahalan, the shortstop, will lead things off. Jenna Johnson, left field, batting second. Batting third, the designated player, Kendall Clark. Bailey Dowling, third base, batting fourth. Batting fifth is Callie Hebden, the second baseman. Emma Broadfoot, first base, batting sixth. Batting seventh, the catcher, Riley Valentine. Lauren Johnson, right field, batting eighth. And Kristen White, the center fielder, will bat ninth. Here comes the first pitch to Kinley Cahalan. A called strike. And that pitch thrown by the right-handed sophomore from Weaverville, North Carolina, Carlin Pickens. Pickens on the year with a 1.12 ERA, a 16-5 record, 28th appearance and 22nd start of the year for Pickens. She has 12 complete games. The 0-1, swung on and missed, 0-2. 131 in the third innings pitched, 72 hits, 25 runs, 21 earned. She's walked 33, struck out 161. Opponents batting 154 against the reigning freshman of the year in the conference.
I mean, where do I start?
The 0-2, Cahalan fouls it off.
So first off, I go back to the quote that Karen Weekly gave us on the pod, possibly one of the most talented players we've ever recruited. Tennessee has had a lot of really good people over the years, but Carlin Pickens has made a difference particularly with the velocity, it's going to get up to 74 today.
The 0-2, little outside. That one registered at 75.
Wow. And you're going to see fastball. She's going to work mainly low in the zone with her drop, and then she'll spot the fastball low. And then her changeup is a difference maker. When that's on, she's darn near unhittable.
1-2, Cahalan fouled that one off at the plate. Count remains 1-2 on Cahalan, who's batting .288 on the season. 38 of 132, 19 runs scored, 7 doubles, 3 triples, 2 homers, and 22 runs driven in.
And one last nugget on Carlin Pickens. A lot of you might hear me talk about her and say, well, how in the world is Alabama going to do anything against her? However,
1-2, swing and a miss. Strike 3, Cahalan down on strikes.
there's that changeup, by the way, registering at 63, which sounds normal, and then you compare that to a 75, it's a tough adjustment. But Pickens last year appeared twice against Alabama and struggled. A 9.33 career ERA against the Tide, 10 hits allowed in 6 innings, 8 earned runs, 5 walks, and 8 Ks.
Jenna Johnson steps in, and here comes the first pitch. Outside for ball 1. Johnson batting .277, 28 of 101, 34 runs scored with 4 doubles, 6 homers, and 20 RBIs.
0 for 2 last night, and of course was hit by a pitch.
The 1-0 is high, 2 balls and no strikes. Defensively for the Lady Vols, West in left, Malloy in center, Panel in right, Gibson at third, Mealer at short, Rodriguez at second, Kutsoinopoulos at first. Nugent is behind home plate, Pooney the designated player. The 2-0, it's a ground ball to first. The stop made by Kutsoinopoulos. She'll win the race to the bag, and there's 2 gone.
But this will be the struggle for Alabama because that was the right pitch. That was pretty meaty over the white, but it's the velocity again. That was it had to be 73 from Pickens, and you just got to find a way to get on time. It goes against pretty much everything you know because this is the fastest you'll see, but if you can get on time, then you can have a bit more success when you work ahead in the count like Jenna Johnson just did.
That'll bring up Kendall Clark. 2 out, nobody on, no score. Here in the bottom of the first. First pitch to Clark is a called strike. The first inning is presented by Barclay GMC of Tuscaloosa for over 42 years. Barclay makes it easy online at barclaygmc.com. The 0-1 to Clark. That one's popped up on the infield, third base side. Gibson will settle underneath it. She'll make the catch for out number 3 to retire the side.
Yeah, Alabama is, I think, I like the plan so far. And really, we've only seen the changeup once from Pickens. However, one of the things that we've talked about, Alabama at times needs to do something different. And on that play, the corners were playing so far back. It would have been pretty easy for Kendall Clark to lay down a bunt and try and beat that out. I think she could have. So we'll see if Alabama can get a little bit more creative offensively as this game goes on because I think they'll have to against Pickens.
No runs, no hits, no errors, no runners left for the Tide in the first. We head to the second. Still 0-0 here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. The second inning is presented by Yellowhammer Brewing Company, Alabama's finest craft brewery. Hit your stride with a refreshing Yellowhammer beer, now available at stores near you. We head to the second inning, 0-0 between Alabama and Tennessee. 2 up for Lady Vols here in the second. West, Nugent, and Panel, 4-5-6 against Shawson Brisky in the circle for the Crimson Tide. It's giving you the series history last inning, which we'll finish up here in just a moment. First, Riley West steps in. First pitch to the righty is a fly ball, foul ground right-hand side, a diving attempt coming up empty is Lauren Johnson, but it is a foul ball for strike one. Would have been a heck of a catch there by Lauren Johnson, heading toward the foul line.
She was a lot closer than I thought she would be as well, based off the initial break.
Yeah, off the bat, I didn't think she was going to get there, but she was almost there. West batting .346, 36 of 104, 28 runs scored with 6 doubles, a triple, 9 homers, and 26 RBIs.
Struck out a couple times last night against Beaver.
The 0-1, outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. In regular season SEC games, Bama is 34-23 against Tennessee all time.
It's been quite a rivalry over the years.
The 1-1, grounded, and that's going to get through for a base hit. In between first and second base into right field, and Riley West is the first base runner of the ball game. Off the single, we'll start things off here in the second.
Not much to that outside pitch from Brisky that West still not super on time with, but was square on. Got it through.
That brings up Sophia Nugent. First pitch, high and away for ball 1. Nugent batting .277. 33 of 119, 19 runs scored with 8 doubles, 8 homers, and 30 RBIs.
1 for 4 last night with a couple Ks against Kayla Beaver.
The 1-1. That one's lifted to right, foul ground again, and it will fall foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. Today's weather and field condition report brought to you by the Cook Museum of Natural Science. Discover something amazing at the Cook Museum of Natural Science in downtown Decatur, Alabama. For more information, visit cookmuseum.org.
Squirrel.
The 1-1. Dropped a little too low, taking off, and caught stealing is Riley West on a perfect throw from Riley Valentine. Riley on Riley crime there.
Riley West is 4 for 5 now in stolen bases this year. That was she got a bad jump.
Yeah.
Riley didn't see her until she was halfway there. The throw had to be perfect, and a great tag by Cahalan as well.
2-1, swing and a miss on a rise, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And it really was a good pitch for her to go on, too.
Yeah.
The drop ball almost in the dirt.
Yeah, it was a changeup. Low in the zone, like you said. I mean, everything says West should be a second.
The 2-2. And that one's lifted to center. White takes a couple steps, camps out underneath it. She'll make the catch, and there's 2 gone.
The changeup is going to be key for Brisky tonight. You know, not only using it at the right time, but also locating it in the right spot. That one, if you watch the replay, you might say that's a little meaty, but it's elevated just enough to where it's hard to get the barrel up if you're not on time, and that's what led to that easy fly out to center.
So now 2 out, nobody on for Taylor Panel. The first pitch is outside for ball 1. Panel batting .291, 32 of 110, 16 runs scored with 4 doubles, triple, 4 homers, and 21 runs driven in.
1 for 3 last night. Never
1-0, grounded foul.
Never had an at-bat last year against Alabama. Got hurt before the Tide and the Vols could play like 1,000 times.
Yes. That weather report, 80 degrees at first pitch under sunny skies, wind blowing out up to 10 miles an hour. Beautiful day.
Oh, it's stunning. Again.
The 1-1. And that's a chopper to short. Cahalan misplays it, and it's going to get all the way to center field. White will back it up, but now standing on second is Panel on the E6.
Kinley got caught on the in-between hop here, trying to read it off the second hop, and then it bounces higher than she thought it would. And kind of a little bit, one of the things you never want to say about an infielder, kind of let the ball play her. And not only that, but it went to a spot where no one was really backing up immediately, and that allowed the runner to take second.
Now Destiny Rodriguez steps in. First pitch is right in there for a called strike. For Alabama, that was their 27th error in conference play, which is the most.
Yeah. True.
Yep. The 0-1, called strike, 0-2 on Rodriguez, who's batting .250. 26 of 104, 12 runs scored with 2 doubles, 5 homers, and 15 RBIs.
And perhaps this is one of the players that you're happy is up after you make that error. As I knock on wood, Rodriguez last night 0 for 3, and entering this weekend had been 0 for her last 13. Has struggled in SEC away games. Remember, she was a big hero early in the year, had that 2-run homer with 2 strikes and 2 outs against Baylor opening weekend to win that game. but has struggled lately, so this 0-2 needs to be something moving. Try and get a chase here, because I think she's going to want to go after something close.
After meeting with Karen Weekly, she sets back in. The 0-2 is fouled off. Looting in, no balls and 2 strikes. 200 down the lines, 220 to straightaway center field here at the Rhodes House. 6-foot wall all the way around in the outfield, and they're hanging from the rafters. Jam-packed here.
Oh, it's stunning. Beautiful.
0-2, change up, grounded up the middle, and that's going to get down for a base hit. Rounding third and coming in to score ahead of the throw. And now the ball not caught by Valentine, and Rodriguez will take second. And it's 1-0 Tennessee as Lady Vols capitalize on the Alabama error.
It knocked on wood and everything. This pitch from Brisky, that is not a well-located changeup. That is not as high as it needs to be if it's up in the zone. And Rodriguez takes advantage, and we talked so much about points off turnovers and how that's a key every time Alabama plays. That is a run off a turnover for Tennessee here in the second.
Julia Kutsoinopoulos steps in, fouls the first pitch off for strike 1. Now we'll go down as a single for Rodriguez, taking second on the throw.
And the other bummer, again, that was an 0-2. So that has to be out of the zone.
The 0-1, low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kutsoinopoulos batting .278, 27 of 97, 19 runs scored, 3 doubles, a triple, 3 homers, 16 RBIs on the year. The 1-1. Held up on the rise, 2-1.
And this is what we've talked about all year. And Patrick Murphy said it in the pregame interview. Just get out of your own way. I mean, this run,
the inning should be over,
is so preventable.
The 2-1. Drops in too low. 3 balls and 1 strike now on Kutsoinopoulos. The 3-1. Right in there for a strike, and the count's full, 3-2.
Surprised that Kutsoinopoulos, who last night had a good night, was 2 for 3. I'm surprised she took that pitch. 3-1s have been friends to the opponents so far this year.
Payoff pitch. Lined and caught by Emma Broadfoot at first. Sunglasses come flying off, but she held on to the ball, and that'll do it for Tennessee here in the second. But the Lady Vols get on the board first, where they get a winner.
And I will point out, last year, the one win against Tennessee had a lead early in that game. Alabama scored first, and the Lady Vols put up a crooked number, and then Alabama answered. They'll need to do the same against the same pitcher that they beat that day.
For Tennessee here in the second, 1 run on 2 hits. There were no errors. There was 1 error and 1 runner left on base. We move to the bottom of the second. It's 1-0 Tennessee here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Excuse me, do you know
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Alabama. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of the university and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by the university.
You're back.
The second inning is presented by Yellowhammer Brewing Company, Alabama's finest craft brewery. Hit your stride with a refreshing Yellowhammer beer, now available at stores near you. We move to the bottom of the second, 1-0 Tennessee. Bailey Dowling leading things off. Dowling, Hevlin, and Broadfoot due up for the Tide. First pitch to Dowling. And that one's lifted to right, but that's going to stay up in the air too long. Panel's there, she'll make the catch. One pitch, one away.
Well, Bailey Dowling doing what she does. I mean, that was everything she wants. Elevated pitch, but the problem is because of the velocity, she was late. So that made that an easy play for Panel out and right. Again, Alabama's just got to make that adjustment. It's not easy. It's easier said than done, but you just have to do it.
Callie Hevlin swings and misses at the first pitch for strike one. Hevlin batting .256, 30 of 117, 17 runs scored, 4 doubles, a triple, 5 homers, and 23 runs driven in.
Last night was 1 for 2.
The 0-1 misses outside, 1-1. Alabama's head coach is Patrick Murphy. He's in his 26th season as the Alabama head coach. He's in the third base coaching box. The 1-1. High, 2-1. Overall record of 1,269 victories, 368 losses, a .775 winning percentage for the national champion and Hall of Famer.
Which hall?
Yeah, all of them.
Ah, yes.
The 2-1.
Nope.
Holds off on that one. Low and inside. She didn't go. Assistant coach and ESPN analyst for tonight in the first base box, Kayla Bro.
Kayla Bro, mic'd up. I can't wait to go back and watch and see what Bro's saying. She's allowed to have the mic on as long as nobody's on base, but once somebody gets on, she has to cut it off.
3-1's fouled back, 3-2. The pitching coach is Lance McMahon. The hitting coach is Adam Arbor. Coordinator of player development, Ryan I. Murray. Director of softball operations, Jaden Spencer.
Ribs.
The athletic trainer, AC Atinka. Strength and conditioning coach is Michelle Diltz. Nathan Sheehan, sports information. Scott Moyer, the video director. Lindsey Garcia, the assistant video director. Payoff pitch now to Hevlin. Is a called strike 3 on the outside edge, and there's 2 away.
That is the fastball from Pickens that she's able to spot really well. I think that was a strike. I think it clipped the outer half, and that's, I mean, it's a pitch that last night I don't think is a strike, but tonight probably is.
Now 2 out, nobody on for Emma Broadfoot. First pitch, low and inside for ball 1. Stu Moore is the equipment manager, sports nutritionist Brianna Leonard, and the photographer Kent Gidley.
And everyone's here.
Yes. The 1-0 pitch, high, 2 balls and no strikes. On Emma Broadfoot, who's batting .210, 13 of 62, 6 runs scored, a double, 3 homers, and 11 RBIs.
0 for 2 last night. Does have an RBI in her career against Tennessee. Had 4 hits against the Lady Vols last season.
2-0 is low, 3 balls and no strikes.
And this is what you've got to work Pickens into. Last year, why did she struggle against Alabama? Specifically in the SEC tournament, she just couldn't throw a strike. And so you've got to be patient with her and try and get her to be a little bit more erratic.
3-0 is inside, and that's a 4-pitch walk to Emma Broadfoot. So Emma is the first base run of the ball game for Alabama here, coming with 2 outs in the second inning.
And Bro will have to cut the mic.
As Riley Valentine steps in. Valentine batting .206, 14 of 68, 16 runs scored with 2 homers and 11 RBIs on the year.
0 for 3 last night with a strikeout. She'll need to make the same adjustment that Callie Hevlin and Emma Broadfoot have made in this inning. Don't want to be overly aggressive on Pickens.
First pitch. Inside for ball 1. For the Lady Vols, their head coach is Karen Weekly. She's in her 23rd season, second as a solo head coach. Hitting coach, Chris Malveaux. The pitching coach, Megan Rhodes-Smith. And the assistant coach, Kate Malveaux. The 1-0. Valentine pulls back the bunt. It's high and inside. 2 balls and no strikes.
And shout out to Ralph, who's here as well. I don't know where he is, but he's here somewhere.
I think he's up here in the box.
Oh, is he?
As Megan Rhodes-Smith is going to come out and have a word with Carlin Pickens, who's now thrown 6 straight balls.
I mean, that is how Alabama got to her last year. And again, one of the things about Pickens is as good as her stuff is, sometimes, occasionally, she doesn't know where it's going. When her location is pinpoint, you're not touching her. But when she's erratic and then she feels like she has to groove in a strike, that's when you pounce. And right now, she's showing early signs of that. Alabama has to stay within their plan. Don't start chasing unless it's that groove pitch.
Pickens is ready. Now the 2-0 pitch to Valentine is a called strike, 2-1. Alabama in the all-crimson uniforms today, the crimson jerseys with white script Bama across the chest, crimson pants and crimson socks. Tennessee in the white uniforms. The 2-1. And that's a ground ball to second. The stop made. The throw is in time for Rodriguez, and they'll do it for the tide here in a second.
Feels like a lot of these swings from Alabama are, I don't want to say tentative because it's because they're late, but it almost feels like this first time through has been kind of a fact-finding situation. Like, all right, what can we do against her? You would like to see a little bit more than that, but again, we're talking about somebody who's a contender for SEC Pitcher of the Year and maybe more in Carlin Pickens. Alabama's just got to find a way to pass the bat.
For the tide in the second, no runs, no hits, no errors. One runner left on base. We played two. It's 1-0 Tennessee here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. The third inning is presented by Bojangles. Download the new Bojangles app and bring the flavor to your next softball tailgate with chicken, biscuits, and fixings, all by ordering ahead on the convenient Bojangles app. It's Bo time, y'all. We head to the third inning. Tennessee with a 1-0 lead over Alabama. Due up for Lady Vols here in the third. Mealer, Malloy, and Pooney 9-1-2 against Jocelyn Brisky in the circle for Alabama. Tennessee with a 1-0 lead off the unearned run scored in the second inning. And here for the third inning, I'll turn things over to my partner, Gray Robertson.
Hi, Tom.
Hello.
Here we are. Let's do it, shall we? First pitch to Laura Mealer is in there for a strike, 0-1. Mealer, the MTSU transfer, hitting .298 on the season, 25 of 84, 25 runs scored, 4 doubles, a triple, 7 homers, 24 RBIs, 0 for 2 with a walk last night. The 0-1 misses, 1-1.
Not her first trip to the Rhodes House.
No.
Or that Blue Raider team that took Alabama to the if necessary game in regionals last year.
That team that was so red hot by the end of the year. 1-1 to Mealer is chopped to second. Hevlin is there. She'll make the throw, 1 down.
I was in the midst of describing the Tennessee uniform before the inning so rudely ended.
Oh, were you going to quote Sandra Bullock?
I was,
yeah.
As a matter of fact. The white jerseys with the gaudy orange sleeves.
It's not on my color wheel, Tom.
Tennessee inscript across the chest. White pants. Gaudy orange socks.
Kiki Malloy fouls off the first pitch, 0-1. Kiki grounded out her first time up on that great stop by Hevlin. And, of course, she could be hitting 100 in the last 5 games. She would still be the most feared batter in this Tennessee lineup. 2-time All-American. 0-1. Misses low, 1-1.
It's not that orange you can sit with, Gray.
No.
Inside of a pumpkin. Not a dog person.
The 1-1. Low, 2-1.
Hate all their quarterbacks.
Now, not all of them, because Allie Shipman is engaged to one who used to be.
Sure.
2-1. That misses low, 3-1.
Well, he had enough sense to get out of there. Like Allie.
Nobody on, one out. 1-0 Tennessee here in the third. Got to be careful. The 3-1 to Kiki Malloy is chopped to third. Dowling's got it. The throw to first is in time. And you'll take that on a dangerous count. Kiki Malloy is retired for out number 2.
And Malloy knows it too. She heads back to the dugout in frustration. Her plan is to get ahead in the count and then take advantage, and wasn't able to do it there.
In steps Zeta Pooney. First pitch. Pooney grounds that to short. Cahalan's got it. The throw to first is in time. Bada bing, bada boom. 1-2-3 inning for Jocelyn Brisky. And she's looking real good. If not for an error, this would be quite a start for the freshman against Tennessee.
And it still is.
Yeah.
But Alabama just has to do something offensively to help her out. But good job by Brisky and also good job by the defense. They were rather routine plays, but make those routine plays, and Ty did it there in the third.
And now we go to the home half of that third. Tennessee 1, Alabama 0 here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
I was
It's presented by Bojangles. Download the new Bojangles app and bring the flavor to your next softball tailgate with chicken, biscuits, and fixings, all by ordering ahead on the convenient Bojangles app. It's bow time, y'all. Tennessee leads Alabama 1-0. The Tide will have 8-9-1 due up. Lauren Johnson, Kristen White, Kinley Cahalan against Carlin Pickens, and Ice Ice Baby being sung. Bird song. I guess this is the new role.
I guess so.
Karaoke leader.
Yeah.
People are like, wow, there's his face. They've heard his voice over the PA for many years.
Now get up to announce Lauren Johnson. Joe Grace jumped on, so
Okay.
we're good.
Okay, off and running. Birdsong's got to make the switch. Anyway, as Joy Grace said, Lauren Johnson will start things off here in the third. The freshman hitting .276. First pitch from Pickens is elevated for ball one. Lojo 16 of 58, 14 runs scored, 2 doubles, 9 RBIs. Last night was 0 for 2 with a walk. Here's the 1-0 from Pickens. Lojo fouls that off, 1-1.
Alabama softball's upcoming schedule brought to you by Yellowhammer Brewing Company, Alabama's finest craft brewery. Hit your stride with a refreshing Yellowhammer beer, now available at stores near you. The series finale between the Tide and Lady Vols coming up tomorrow.
Here's the 1-1. That's chopped back up the middle by Lauren Johnson. Mealer's got it, and a great throw to first will get Lojo for out number 1. That is unreal glove work up the middle by the Tennessee shortstop.
She had a play or two like that yesterday as well, where she's basically stealing a base hit away with that range, making that stop back behind the second base bag, and a good throw.
I mean, got her by almost a step and a half.
First pitch tomorrow, set for 1, 12:50 the airtime here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network.
Kristen White will step in. She had a base hit last night as a pinch hitter. Base is clear, 1 out. First pitch. K-Dub takes it for a strike, 0-1. White hitting .298 on the year, 17 of 57, 10 runs scored, 1 singular RBI.
Great. Tomorrow is the final home game of the regular season.
Oh, my. How?
It's amazing.
We were just here playing UVA. The 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
Also the power of pink. Also, we're recognizing all the seniors one more time. It's going to be a big week, big game tomorrow. Big event.
Plus fan 100,000,
Yes.
as Patrick Murphy said.
Be here.
You might win. 0-2, way outside, 1 and 2.
I was told we are not eligible.
No. Because we get here before the gates open.
Yeah.
So I don't know how we would win.
I'll leave and come back
Okay.
after the interview.
Leave your laptop. The one Mrs. White held up 2 and 2. I'm sorry, that was mean.
One time.
That was mean.
10 years, one time. We got the crowd mic back. Everything's fine.
Everything's good. All the equipment is here. Ethan is here. Rocking and rolling. 2-2 to Christian White. Ooh. Hair out. Full count.
Both Pickens and Nugent wanted that one.
I would too. But instead, it's a 3-2 to Christian White. Nobody on, 1 out. 1-0 Tennessee here in the bottom of the third. Payoff from Carlin Pickens. The change is hit to third immediately, and Gibson fielded that rather cleanly and quickly. Throw to first in time for out number 2. And I think that would have been ball 4, too. So back to the top of the order with Kinley Cahalan, who struck out in the first. First pitch, called strike, 0-1. And in case you're curious, is there a difference, righties and lefties against Pickens? No. Lefties are hitting 148 against Pickens, righties 158.
Man.
So she's doing better against the side that's supposed to have the, quote, advantage. 0-1, skips in, 1-1.
Earlier today, elsewhere on the Crimson Tide Sports Network, Bama Baseball picks up a 10-3 win over Ole Miss in Oxford, and the Crimson Tide wins that series 2-1.
Hey, road series win. We love to see it. 1-1. Cahalan takes it for a ball, 2-1. Nobody on, 2 outs, 1-0 Tennessee here in the bottom of the third. This will be the 39th pitch for Pickens. 2-1. Cahalan fouls it off, 2-2.
Well, you've had the one time through the order, so now here this second time. Again, as we said, much easier said than done.
Yeah.
It's very difficult. She's pitched extremely well all year long. She's got to make the adjustment.
2-2. Fouled away down the first base line.
It's like I'm sure a lot of people have said, Nolan Ryan, make the
Yeah.
adjustment. He throws it hard. We got it.
Yes.
But
Understood.
yes,
But the adjustment doesn't necessarily mean,
never
trying to
strike
go gap
out
to
or
gap.
never strike out.
Yeah. 2-2. Cahalan kind of got caught up by the changeup, and it rolled to first. Kotsoyanopoulos will collect and tag Cahalan for out number 3. And Kinley probably a little unlucky that one stayed in fair ground.
Yeah, it kind of had a hitch in the swing there. She recognized that it was off speed, and I think was trying to get it to go foul, but it stayed fair.
And so we go to the fourth. Tennessee still leads it 1-0 over Alabama here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. The fourth inning is presented by Nukes. At Nukes, your food is always made to order in an open kitchen with the freshest ingredients. Visit them locally, right over there on University Boulevard, or order online at nukes.com. Nukes is a proud supporter of Alabama softball. It really is just down the road. It's very easy.
Almost walking distance.
I mean, we could. We won't, but we could.
No, you're right.
We go to the fourth with Tennessee leading Alabama 1-0. Due up for the Lady Vols, 3-4-5. Gibson, West, and Nugent against Jocelyn Brisky, who has been really good. I've counted one mistake pitch. The problem is that came with somebody on second after an error. But I'll tell you what, first 3 innings of work, nearly a time and a half through the order, I've been pretty impressed by what we've seen from the Alabama freshman.
Yeah, she's pitching extremely well. Unfortunately, like you said, Tennessee does what really good teams do. They take advantage of the one opportunity given to them. But if you're Brisky in this Alabama defense, you just got to keep on what you're doing and keep giving your offense more opportunities.
Karen Weekly currently doing the interview with Eric Freed and Madison Shipman. I wonder if Bro is getting it. No way.
No, I would not think so.
No way. All right, I've done enough. That was, it was
Yeah.
certainly a third inning. We were on for about 6 minutes. I'll toss it back to you, Tom.
Thanks so much, Gray. Mentioned Brisky in the circle. She's gone 3 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, which was unearned, no walks, and a strikeout, 43 pitches and 27 strikes thrown by the freshman from Phoenix, Arizona. For Tennessee overall, a run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. For Alabama, no runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 runner left on base. Middle of the order due up, 3-4-5, Gibson, West, and Nugent against Jocelyn Brisky here in the 4th. We have finally wrapped up the conversation with Karen Weekly, and we are about ready to get back underway. It was an RBI single by Destiny Rodriguez in the 2nd inning that has given Tennessee the current 1-0 lead. Here comes the first pitch to Gibson. Right in there for a called strike. Gibson, a junior from Santa Clarita, California. The 0-1 in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Today also the Patrick Murphy bobblehead giveaway. Always exciting. That one's in there, first strike, 1 and 2. Gray, they said we could call her Boo. I was like, yeah.
What does this say? It says McKenna.
McKenna.
We'll go with that.
Her exact name. The 1-2 pitch. Low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Wind has died down a little bit. When we got here today, it was blowing pretty hard out to left field. But as it's gotten later, it died down. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Gibson down on strikes, and that tied strikeout, like all tied strikeouts, brought to you by Barclay GMC of Tuscaloosa. For over 42 years, Barclay makes it easy. Online at barclaygmc.com.
Filthy drop ball. That just tumbled off the table. Absolutely no chance for Gibson.
Second strikeout of the day for Brisky, and that brings up Riley West. The first pitch to West is low for ball 1. West singled her first time out. Senior from Eastvale, California.
Never been awarded anything in the SEC.
The 1-0. Fouled away, 1-1.
Which
Little
surprised me.
surprising, yeah.
I think she might be, based on accolades, one of the 3 most underrated hitters in this conference. I just feel like she's always been consistent. And this year having her best season overall and in conference play.
The 1-1. Right in there for a strike, 1 and 2. Great, it's time for a scoreboard update brought to you by the Out of the Box podcast. Check out the latest episode of the Out of the Box podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. This week's episode featuring an interview with Haley McClinney, the GOAT. West with a fly ball to deep left field, and it's now 2-0 Tennessee as Riley West got all of that one for the solo homer.
Barreled up a changeup that was elevated. I want to see the location. That looked really high, and if so, that's just impressive back control by Riley West. Brisky pulling the string, it's not super fat. It's elevated. It's over the white, but it's elevated. That's kind of where you want it to be. But West was looking there and found it.
Sophia Nugent now to the plate. Their pitch is low for ball one. Nugent's 0 for 1 with a fly out. 2-0 Tennessee here, 1 out in the top of the fourth.
And I say where you want it to be. I mean, if you're going to throw an elevated changeup, it needs to be up, and that one kind of was.
The 1-0. Ground ball to third. Dowling stays with it, make the stop in the throw for out number 2. And I mentioned that the wind was blowing out to left field. That was not wind dated.
No. That was pure barrel.
So now 2 outs for Taylor Panel. She reached on an error and scored back in the second. First pitch. Right in there for a strike. Give us a follow at @OutOfTheBox_pod on the X. Tomorrow, will we know who our guest is going to be next week?
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe the person next door, finally.
TBD.
Been trying.
The 0-1. Ground ball to short. Cahalan's there. She makes a stop in the throw. And that'll do it for Tennessee here in the fourth. But Tennessee adds to their lead with a solo homer by Riley West.
Yeah, I mean, Tennessee is going to get theirs at some point, and that was just a tough break for Brisky. That wasn't a bad pitch. It was just a better piece of hitting. But the important thing now for Alabama, you just got to string together base runners against Pickens. Try and make Tennessee sweat, because if I'm Carlin Pickens up 2-0 with my talent, I'm feeling confident. Try and give her some ounce of doubt.
I don't know if you knew this. Carlin Pickens currently throwing a no-hitter, Gray.
Oh?
Yes.
Excuse me.
So we'll see what happens here in the fourth. But in the top of the fourth, Tennessee, 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, nobody left. We head to the bottom of the fourth, 2-0 Tennessee here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. For their The fourth inning is presented by Nukes. At Nukes, your food is always made to order in an open kitchen with the freshest ingredients. Visit them locally on University Boulevard or order online at nukes.com. Nukes is a proud supporter of Alabama softball. We move to the bottom of the fourth inning. Tennessee with a 2-0 lead over Alabama. Do it for the Tide here in the fourth inning. It'll be Johnson, Clark, and Dowling, 2-3-4 against Carlin Pickens in the circle for Tennessee. Pickens has gone 3 innings. No hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts, 41 pitches, 23 strikes thrown by Pickens, who, as I mentioned just now, is currently throwing a no-hitter.
Hold up. Wait a minute. That 0, you see it?
I do.
Okay. So no hits allowed by Carlin Pickens as of yet?
Yes, youngin. No hits allowed for Carlin Pickens so
Tom,
far today.
I think it's time to change it.
Indeed.
Oh, my gosh. That's for like 5 people maybe. Hello, everyone.
Patrick Murphy and Caleb Beaver also in on the interview right now. Beav showing off the Patrick Murphy bobblehead doll. That's right, yes.
Yes, that is what this is.
Wow. And it'll be the 2-3-4 portion of the lineup for Alabama that's going to be looking to break up the no-hitter for Alabama, starting with Jenna Johnson, who, if I remember correctly, broke up the no-hitter last week for Heron.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. And
Yes.
if Jenna can do what she did her first time up, try and work the count, I think she'll find success.
First pitch is low for ball 1. That being said, that's the 42nd pitch for Carlin Pickens.
Yeah.
She's only thrown 23 strikes. So Alabama has worked the count some, but has only got the 1 walk and 1 base runner out of it.
And no hits.
That one's fouled off at the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike now on Jenna Johnson, trying to break up the Carlin Pickens no-hitter.
But this is kind of what we've been talking about. I think Alabama's plans have been solid this year, but it's about, all right, you put yourself in the position, now go a little bit further.
The 1-1 comes in too high, 2-1 now on Jenna Johnson. 5th-year senior from Franklin, Tennessee.
Should I get to some scores?
Yes, because things have moved so fast.
Who's pitching? Brisky?
The 2-1 called strike, 2-2. But in addition to the Alabox podcast, be sure to check out the It Just Means More softball podcast, part of the Softball America podcast, which will be live on YouTube, 6 o'clock on Monday evening. Like, subscribe, and share. 2-2, swing and a miss. Strike 3. Johnson's down on strikes, and there's 1 away.
Best changeup of the night from Carlin Pickens. I mean, here's what's crazy about Carlin Pickens' changeup. It's coming in at 63. That is as hard as Peyton Gottschall throws her hard stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just so tough to make that adjustment, especially when it's for a strike.
Now Kendall Clark to the plate. She's 0 for 1 with a pop out. First pitch, that's a high chopper to third. Gibson's there to make the stop in the throw, and there's 2 away.
All right, quickly. In Athens, 8 combined home runs between Georgia and Florida today, and Georgia wins game 2 11-6. Rubber match tomorrow.
That is, like, we've had 2 games that have been basically the same, but it's the other team each time that is almost run ruled or run ruled. Now Bailey Dowling to the plate. She's 0 for 1 with a fly out. First pitch, inside for ball 1.
And really quickly, I just want to point out Carlin Pickens still throwing a
Throwing a
no-hitter.
no-hitter, right.
Yes. In Lexington, a 3-run 6th inning gave Kentucky a 3-1 win over South Carolina. Another rubber match coming up tomorrow.
1-0 to Dowling. Low, 2-0.
Another rubber match in Oxford because after last night's marathon, Auburn won. Today, Ole Miss defeats the Tigers 4-2.
The 2-0. Dowling fouls it off, 2-1.
No rubber match in Baton Rouge because Arkansas is going for the sweep. Hogs win tonight 4-1 over LSU. And coming up in about an hour, give or take, game 1, the Saturday, Sunday, Monday series, Mississippi State at Missouri.
The 2-1 pitch to Dowling is a ground ball to first. The stop made by Kutsoinopoulos. She'll step on the bag for out number 3 to retire the side, and Carlin Pickens still has the no-hitter now 3-4.
Yeah, Alabama getting a little bit reachy that time. Dowling just went after something pretty low in the zone. That's not what you're trying to look for. And if you're Jocelyn Brisky, you just got to keep the Lady Vols where you are and hope the offense can start to find a little something against Pickens.
For the Tide in the 4th, no runs, no hits, no errors, no runners left. We played 4. It's 2-0 Tennessee here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Lear. The 5th inning is presented by Yellowhammer Brewing Company, Alabama's finest craft brewery. Hit your stride with refreshing Yellowhammer beer, now available at stores near you. We head to the 5th inning. It's 2-0 Tennessee. 7-8-9 due up for the Lady Vols. And before we bring the 5th inning to you, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Destiny Rodriguez to lead things off for Tennessee here in the 5th. She had an RBI single her first time up. First pitch. Lined, and that's going to get down for a base hit into right field, just out of the grasp of Emma Broadfoot at first, and that's a leadoff single for Destiny Rodriguez.
Let's get to some of the national scores. Currently, they're in the 7th out in Seattle, and Washington leads Stanford 3-1, trying to force a rubber match tomorrow. Of course, Kennedy got the win last night, and Washington not having to play Kennedy right now, so we'll see how that goes.
You said there was some sort of, I was asleep. You said there was some sort of controversy last night?
Yeah, so there was an interference rule that was overturned on replay. Then Stanford coach Jessica Allister whipped out a rule book.
Oh, no.
And then umps were on the phone with who's to say, and it was about a 15-minute delay. No interference was eventually ruled.
Julia Kutsoinopoulos swings and misses at the first pitch for strike one. We do have a pinch runner on first. Amanda Allen is now on first. The 0-1 is low. 1 ball, 1 strike on Kutsoinopoulos, who's 0 for 1. She lined out in the second inning.
Some national scores. Texas swept a doubleheader with Iowa State. Oklahoma had the weird game. Said there'd be one, but they held on to beat UCF 2-1 today.
1-1 is low. 2-1. Sarah Willis, FGCL, pitched really well for
Yeah, she did.
the Golden Knights today.
Syracuse in the bottom of the 7th had the bases loaded, tied at 3 against Virginia Tech, but struck out twice to go to extras, and then I bet you can guess what happened.
The 2-1. Kutsoinopoulos swings and misses, 2-2.
I'll tell you, Hokies put up a crooked number in the 8th.
Yeah.
Won 7-3.
Virginia Tech wishes every game was 8 innings.
They're like, let's just get to extras, and then
Right.
we're good. Louisville also beat Clemson today, 6-3. Don't know why Clemson is still ranked in some polls.
The 2-2. Kutsoinopoulos grounds that one foul down the third baseline. We'll do it again. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And that's kind of the end of a list. Everything else pretty standard, not much else impactful. Coming up a little bit later tonight will be game 2 of UCLA-Arizona. UCLA run-ruled last night, game 1.
The 2-2 is low, and the count's full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Okay, there was a little thing called the NFL Draft.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Is it still going?
It is finally wrapped up.
Okay. Yay.
Payoff pitch to Kutsoinopoulos. Hit and run. That's going to be a ground ball to short. Cahalan with a backhand. The throw not going to be in time, and that's going to be an infield single for Kutsoinopoulos, but runners on first and second.
Not much that Kenley Cahalan can do there. The hit and run, she was starting to flash a little bit. I'll tell you what, Karen Weekly has called 2 hit and runs this weekend that have been at the perfect time. And because that first step for Cahalan was bouncing towards second, that took just enough time to allow Kutsoinopoulos to beat it out. Maybe.
Oh. So they're not challenging whether or not she beat it out. They're challenging whether or not Allen left early on first base. This replay review is brought to you by the University Medical Center. With 6 locations in West Alabama, University Medical Center provides comprehensive health care for you and your family. Call 205-348-1770 for an appointment. So that would obviously be...
Well, it's early enough in the game where I think Alabama's got to be pretty sure. Might already have the call from our buddy Marty. Let's see. We're finally getting a look.
So she did not leave early.
It was close, but she did not.
Yeah.
It's the right call.
Well, you say it's early enough. It's the 5th inning. We're
That's true.
We're an inning away.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
The game is only an hour old, but we are in the 5th inning.
My gosh.
You got Brisky against the pitcher that's throwing a no-hitter, so it's going to be quick. Laura Mealer now up with runners on first and second. She squares around the bunt, pulls it back. It's low for ball 1. Mealer grounded out her first time up.
And this is where the Alabama defense has to be really sharp, but also Brisky. You know, last night, an issue that Beaver had, Mealer tried to give her a bunt, and it was a 4-pitch walk.
The 1-0. Mealer puts down the bunt. Dowling is there. She makes the stop and the throw. Sacrifice is successful. Runners now on second and third with 1 away. So in that NFL draft for Alabama, A lot of players taken.
I'm shocked.
Yes.
This is my shocked face.
In the first round, J.C. Latham went to the Titans, Dallas Turner to the Vikings, and Terrion Arnold to the Lions. Is Kiki Malloy to the plate now. First pitch. Grounded to third. Dowling looks the runner back and throws to first. And that's a huge second out there to get Kiki Malloy on the one-pitch ground out.
I'm really glad you started talking about the draft because I was probably going to go on some soliloquy about maybe walking Kiki with first base open. But you know
Never
what?
Mind.
Who would have thought that the analyst is wrong? It happens. That's just gigantic. Kiki having a tough game today and Alabama taking advantage.
So now 2 outs, runners on second and third for Zeta Pooney, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. And here comes Lance McMahon. Yesterday's second and third round. In the second round, Kool-Aid McKinstry went to the Saints. Chris Braswell to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. In the third round, it was Jermaine Burton to the Cincinnati Bengals. Justin Aboigbe earlier today in the fourth round went to the Los Angeles Chargers. In the sixth round, we saw Jace McClellan, our guy.
We were there first. Shout out to us.
The running back going to the Atlanta Falcons. Will Reichard, the all-time NCAA scoring leader, to the Minnesota Vikings in the sixth round. And in the seventh round, Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick.
No way!
The last pick of the draft, Jalen Key, the safety, goes to the New York Jets, becoming the first Alabama Mr. Irrelevant since Ramsey Robinson in 2006.
Wow. Well, real quick, a little softball strategy. Now I don't know if it's a terrible idea to intentionally walk Zeta Pooney with 2 outs and first base open.
First pitch to Pooney is a strike.
All right.
At the knees, not going to do it.
Now,
0-1 on Pooney.
and Pooney has struck out today, but man, I mean, she's hitting 381 RISP, 364 with 2 outs. First base is open.
The 0-1. Grounded to third. Dowling is there to stop the throw, and Bama gets out of it. Runners on second and third with 1 out, and Tennessee does not score.
What am I worried about? Psh, got it the whole way. Just Tennessee's 2 best RBI producers.
Yep.
Everything's fine. Look, that is as much momentum generation as Alabama's maybe had all weekend. You got to utilize it. You got to take advantage. You got to just get something going against a pitcher throwing a no-hitter.
Use that momentum right now to break up the no-no.
Yeah.
Because Carlin Pickens currently throwing a no-hitter.
Presently.
For Tennessee in the fifth, no runs on 2 hits, no errors, 2 left. We stretch in Tuscaloosa, looking to break up the no-hitter in the bottom of the fifth. 2-0 Tennessee here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Presented by Yellowhammer Brewing Company, Alabama's finest craft brewery. Hit your stride with a refreshing Yellowhammer beer, now available at stores near you. We head to the home half of the fifth inning. Tennessee with a 2-0 lead over Alabama. Hevlin, Broadfoot, and Valentine do up 5-6-7 against Carlin Pickens in the circle for Tennessee. Currently throwing a no-hitter for the Lady Vols.
Hold up.
Is Pickens. Not allowed a hit as of yet. Callie Hevlin will step in. She's 0 for 1 with a strikeout, and the first pitch is a called strike on the inside corner. 0-1 on Hevlin, junior from Three Rivers, Michigan. The 0-1. Way down a miss, 0-2.
Did have a home run off Pickens last year in Knoxville in that win. Evelyn.
And we've often discussed Missed a grand slam by that much
Yeah.
in game 3.
Changed a lot.
The 0-2. Check swing. She went too far around, according to Paul Eds at first. And have one down on 3 straight pitches for the first out of the inning.
My initial reaction is the smoke might have gotten in his eyes. They're showing the full pitch sequence. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah.
I've seen that called not a swing. And when Broadfoot steps in, the first pitch. High for ball 1. Broadfoot walked on 4 straight pitches her first time up. Been the only base runner of the ball game for the Crimson Tide, that coming back in the second inning.
Wait, does that mean Carlin Pickens hasn't given up a hit yet?
She hasn't given up a hit. She has given up a base runner. Not a perfect game, but she is throwing a no-hitter. The 1-0 is in there for a strike. Missed her spot, but stayed in the zone, 1-1.
Yeah, I've seen Brisky do that a couple times tonight as well.
The 1-1. Broadfoot takes that one for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
All right, well, here's the problem with the plan. Now you got to adjust because Pickens is comfortable, and she's starting to rifle in strikes.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Broadfoot down on strikes, and back-to-back strikeouts for Pickens here in the 5th inning. She now has 5 on the day, and there's 2 away.
I mean, I don't know what, as a hitter, you do with that because that's the same spot as the 75-mile-per-hour fastball, and the changeup then comes in and looks the same because it's like a fastball for 70% of the pitchers in America.
Riley Valentine steps in. The first pitch, fouled straight back for strike 1. Valentine's 0 for 1. She grounded out her first time up. Sophomore from Phoenix, Arizona, the transfer from Texas A&M, looking to get the first hit of the ball game for Alabama. Carlin Pickens currently throwing a no-hitter. We play in the 5th inning. The 0-1 in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. That bounce and was almost in the zone on the bounce.
Would have been fun.
Eligible to be hit if you want.
Yeah. Cricket?
Quite the googly. The 1-1. Check swing, fouled it off. The ball and 2 strikes now on Valentine.
So 2 strikes. You got to be thinking change up here if you're Riley Valentine. Haven't seen one yet in this at-bat.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And Pickens strikes out the side here in the 5th.
So she had 9 pitches in the 4th. And in the 5th, I'll do a quick count.
It wasn't quite an immaculate inning.
I think it was 11.
Yeah.
So it's 20 pitches the last 2 innings after she had thrown nearly 40 through the 2nd, or rather to the start of the 3rd. Look, the plan's got to change now. The original plan I liked, but now Pickens is comfortable. Now you just got to go up and attack and get on time to where those attacks lead to something.
No runs, no hits, no errors, no runners left. We played 5, 2-0 Tennessee here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from their field. the sixth inning is presented by the Alabama Crimson Tide Game Day Live app. Keep up with everything Alabama with the Alabama Crimson Tide Game Day Live mobile app, presented by Cadence Bank. Download now for free at the App Store and Google Play. We head to the top of the sixth inning, 2-0 Tennessee. Due up for Lady Vols here in the sixth. It'll be Gibson, West, and Nugent. 3-4-5. Jocelyn Brisky back out for her sixth inning of work. Her first pitch of this sixth inning will be her 70th of the game. First pitch to McKenna Gibson is in there for a strike. Gibson's 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout. The 0-1. Grounded to third. Dowling's there. Leaping throw in time, and there's one gone. We'll bring up Riley West, who's 2 for 2 on the day with a single and a solo homer.
That home run, really the only smacked ball of the day. Tennessee's had a couple hits in the right spots, but that was crushed out to left.
First pitch to West, inside for ball one. Taking a look at Alabama softball on this date. Grade, you know the date.
I do, and I'll touch on that a little bit later.
The 1-0, low and away, 2-0. Of course, it is April 27th. T-Town never down.
All right, I guess I'll touch on it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. The 13th anniversary of that just horrific day of tornadoes and storms that came through.
2-0 is grounded to third. Dowling's there to stop the throw, and there's 2 away.
And as I was watching the news and watching Twitter last night, I saw the devastation in Nebraska yesterday, and the videos of the tornado. It took me back a little bit. I mean, it was gnarly. So our thoughts and prayers to all those folks out there who are having to deal with the devastation from that event.
First pitch to Sophia Nugent in there for a called strike. Softball-wise, Alabama on this date, 7-5 all time. Outscoring opponents 47-31. The 0-1, fouled away, 0-2. Bama swept a doubleheader over Troy in 1999 at Bowers Park on this date, as well as beating Kentucky 3-1 here at the Rhodes House in 2019.
Okay.
Tide last played on this date back in 2022. The 0-2 pitch to Nugent is low, 1-2, dropping a 3-1 decision to Western Kentucky in Bowling Green.
That was not my favorite day.
No.
And you know why? Because we got stiffed by Big Red.
We got ghosted.
He said he was going to come by the booth, and he did not.
The Thing tweeted at us because that one's low.
How?
2-2.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if he has fingers, hands.
What the dealio is.
He's a red blob is what he is.
We saw him when we got excited.
He
and
was
then
there.
He wandered away.
The 2-2. And that's grounded to third. Dowling's there. The throw, a little high, but the stop is made for out number 3 to retire the side. And 3 putouts for Bailey Dowling in a 1-2-3 inning here in the 6th.
3 softly hit ball. I'm telling you what, Brisky is throwing a great game.
Yeah.
Throwing a great game. And now if you're Alabama, you just gotta do something. Gotta shake it up, gotta mix it up, but do something to make Carlin Pickens feel uncomfortable, because right now she is cruising.
For Tennessee in the 6th, no runs, no hits, no errors, no runners left. We move to the bottom of the 6th. Still 2-0 Tennessee here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. The sixth inning is presented by the Alabama Crimson Tide Game Day Live app. Keep up with everything Alabama with the Alabama Crimson Tide Game Day Live mobile app. Presented by Cadence Bank. Download now for free at the App Store and Google Play. We head to the bottom of the sixth, 2-0 Tennessee. 8-9-1 due up for Alabama here. Johnson, White, and Cahalan. Carlin Pickens back out in the circle. Still throwing a no-hitter, Greg.
Still throwing a no-hitter, and it's all about the adjustment now. You got two people who can lay stuff down in Lauren Johnson and Kristen White starting off this inning. Again, you just got to switch it up. Just got to get people on base. Get people on base and then see how she reacts.
Lauren Johnson to lead things off, 0 for 1 with a ground out. First pitch was looking at the bunt, pulled it back. Ooh, a called strike.
Marty.
And Lauren Johnson and Patrick Murphy both voicing their displeasure as that one looked low. The 0-1. That one's high, 1-1.
One more nugget on this day. It's also Ashley Prangy's birthday.
Oh, yeah.
So HBD to Prang.
Assistant coach at UAB.
Yeah.
The 1-1. A little inside. Now the count's right, 2-1.
Yeah, I think that's correct. Just gotta keep it
right.
between the navigational beacons. Carlin Pickens throwing a no-hitter still.
She
right?
is. No-hitter. The 2-1 is low, 3-1. Hopefully now she'll groove one that Lauren Johnson can hit to break up the no-hitter. The 3-1. Johnson either went too far around the check swing or is a called strike, maybe both. It counts full 3-2.
I think it was both. It's that high fastball from Pickens, inner half. Just pinpoint location. Got it again. 2 strikes, watch for the changeup. We were watching the highlight package as Pickens calls time. 4 of the 6 changeups, and maybe more, have been on, or 4 of the 6 strikeouts have been on the changeup from Pickens tonight.
Payoff pitch. Chopper up the middle. Stop made by Mueller. The throw is there, and there's one away. And another problem is that Laura Mueller is just sucking anything up that goes up the middle right now.
Well, her positioning is really impressive. I mean, she is playing nearly right up the middle, not really where most shortstops play, but I think that's just scouting. That's just expecting Alabama not to be on time so that she's ready to move in just in case.
First pitch. White pulls back the bunt. It's low, ball 1. Kristen White's 0 for 1. She grounded out her first time up.
Alabama's done a really good job getting to 3-ball counts, but hasn't paid off to a hit yet.
Well, no, that bunt is down, and the throw is not going to be in time. That breaks up the no-hitter on the bunt single for Kristen White.
Boy, that took forever.
We worked hard.
Oh my gosh,
on that one.
I'm sweating. But you know what? K-Dub. I mean, it's just perfect. It's perfect. And a lot of credit to Katsoyanopoulos.
Yeah.
She made that really close.
I didn't think it was even going to be even worth her throw, but it was really close.
And now, if you're Alabama, you're thinking, okay, if we're going to do it tonight, it has to be now at the top of the order up. 3rd time seeing Pickens now.
Kinley Cahalan to the plate. She's 0 for 2. The first pitch, line to third. The catch made by Gibson, and it's a double play. Can't hit it any harder than Kinley Cahalan just did. And because of that, Kristen White doubled off first. And it's a line drive double play to end the 6th inning.
Oh, my gosh. She made the adjustment. I mean, I'm looking at Caleb Rowe going, dang it. I mean, oh, man, that honestly kind of an encapsulation of this season. For real. Alabama and kind of Kinley Cahalan's 2 years.
Yeah.
Just she did it right. And Tennessee just made a play. One of those plus plays.
For the Tide in the 6th, they break up the no-hitter, but they get no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and no runners left. We played 6, 2-0 Tennessee here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. The 7th inning is presented by Tuscaloosa Ford. We'd like to thank Tuscaloosa Ford for providing transportation for the Crimson Tide Sports Network to all of the season's away games. Visit Tuscaloosa Ford for your next vehicle purchase. Roll Tide with Tuscaloosa Ford. We head to the 7th inning. Tennessee with a 2-0 lead over Alabama. Due up for the Lady Vols here in the 7th. It would be Panel, Rodriguez, and Kutsoyanopoulos. 6, 7, 8. Jocelyn Brisky back out in the circle, and we've seen two pitchers in this ball game, Brisky and Pickens, that have just been dealing all day.
I mean, both have been really, really spectacular.
Taylor Panel steps in, the first pitch. That bunt is down. Brisky has it. The throw is a little bit late, and Panel reaches on the bunt single.
Yeah, it's my bad. I don't think that hit her. I think it was just my angle, but that took the Alabama defense by surprise, and that's kind of what I want Alabama to do. A little bit earlier in this ball game, the defense was not ready for that.
Now Destiny Rodriguez to the plate. First pitch. Grounded foul for strike one on hit and run.
One thing, though, about that play, it's a small thing, but it's a good little lesson. Callie Hevlin knew that they weren't going to get Panel. That throw was off, and she got off the bag and went to get it, knowing that the ball is more important than what's about to happen, and that made sure that Panel stayed at first base.
The 0-1 lined, and that's going to be stopped on a dive, but not held on to on the infield. That'll be an infield single for Rodriguez, and it was a great effort by Callie Hevlin, but she wasn't able to hold on to it and make the flip to second on the dive.
I thought Brisky was about to catch that.
So back-to-back infield singles puts runners on first and second with nobody out for Julia Kutsoyanopoulos, who's 1 for 2 with a line out and a single. First pitch is popped up on the infield. It's in foul ground, so no infield fly. The catch is made by Broadfoot, and there's one gone.
And real quick, a nugget on Tennessee. Something that I talked to Karen Weekly about yesterday. Their offense is one where everyone has been pretty consistent, but every game it's somebody else who kind of goes off.
Laura Mueller steps in, the first pitch. That's a ground ball to short. Cahalan flips to second for one. The turn, the double play. Bama turns the 4-6-3 twin killing. That double play, we want to remind you that in less time than an inning, you could be saving money by applying for a mortgage at AssuranceMortgage.com. Assurance Mortgage is a proud partner of the Crimson Tide, and Alabama is able to turn the double play to get out of that inning.
Feels like it's been a while since we've seen a double play, but Alabama said, hey, we can do it too, and now you just got to find the energy. Find the energy. All you got to do is get one person on and tying runs at the plate, and then all bets are off.
For the Vols in the 7th inning, no runs on 2 hits. There were no errors and 1 left. We head to the 7th and the last chance for Alabama. It's 2-0 Tennessee here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. The 7th inning is presented by Tuscaloosa Ford. We'd like to thank Tuscaloosa Ford for providing transportation for the Crimson Tide Sports Network to all of this season's away games. Visit Tuscaloosa Ford for your next vehicle purchase. Roll Tide with Tuscaloosa Ford. Bama's defense turns the plus play to end the 7th inning. And now we head to the bottom of the 7th, the last chance for the Crimson Tide. It's 2-0 Tennessee. 2-3-4 due up for the Tide here. Jenna Johnson starting things off. 0 for 2 on the day with a ground out and a strikeout. First pitch to Jenna. Chopper to third. It's stopped in foul ground by Gibson. Would have completed the out, but it's a foul ball, 0-1.
Quick scoreboard update. Final from Seattle. Washington wins 3-1. Out in LA, no score. UCLA, Arizona in the second. And we don't even have lineups yet for Missouri, Mississippi State, starting at the top of the hour.
Johnson with a ground ball. This time it's fielded by Gibson at third. The throw is in time for out number 1.
Just a little jam. That had a little bit of up to it, and I think that kind of took Jenna Johnson by surprise. So where she started to go after it, I think she would have hit it square, but just because of that little extra upspin, couldn't quite get a handle on it.
Now Kendall Clark will step in. She's 0 for 2. First pitch in the dirt for ball 1. Clark popped out in the first and grounded out in the fourth. Bama just trying to get the tying run on base here in the 7th.
And they could use a little help from the crowd. Over to our left side, they're starting to get up a little bit, but you got to find a way to rattle Pickens, and any noise here I think would help.
The 1-0. Fouled off on a check swing. 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1. Clark fouls it off. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Two. Clark fouls it off again. This season, Alabama 0-9 when trailing going into the 7th inning, and has not walked off a game in which they trailed. One, 2. Check swing. She went too far around, and Alabama down to their final out.
Fastball, outer part. That might have been a strike anyway, honestly. But Clark went.
Now last chance for Alabama, Bailey Dowling. Dowling's 0 for 2 with a fly out and the ground out. First pitch. Hard hit ball to short. Mealer grabs it on 1 hop, spins, throws, gets Dowling, and ends the ball game. Final score, Tennessee 2, Alabama nothing. And
wow,
Laura Mealer played a tremendous shortstop here today for the Lady Vols. When Alabama did get it in play up the middle, she was there and finished off the game right there with a tremendous play.
I will tip the cap. I don't know how she just did that, Tom. Where her body, she knew nowhere where anyone. What are words? I mean, I don't know how she just made that play. That was Bailey Dowling got what she wanted.
Got a good hit, yeah.
Yep, squared it up, did everything right. But like I talked about last night with Talon TV, and like we've talked about earlier, if you're going to win this conference, you've got to make the plus plays. And Alabama made a few more today, but Tennessee did just as many. And Alabama finishes with 1 hit. I think Laura Mealer took away 3 of them on her own. And Alabama loses a great pitcher's duel.
That play kind of summarizes why Tennessee is legitimate, not just conference conference championship contender, but national championship contender, because they have, I think, the best 1-2 punch in the circle.
I don't think it's close.
They have a lineup that can score from any part of it, 1 through 9. and they have a defense that when the pitchers do make a mistake or allow the opponent to put a ball in play, they're going to be able to make the stop.
And one of the amazing things about the Tennessee defense, entering this weekend, 7th overall in fielding percentage, but 1st in conference play. So they've been getting stronger as the year has gone on, and against the toughest competitions, they make the plays. And a tip of the cap to Tennessee, this was a much better, I think, overall softball game, but the better team made plays today, and Alabama's got to adjust and figure some stuff out, because tomorrow, now you're in the same position you were in for game 1. You don't know who Tennessee's going to throw, and Pickens didn't do all that much today to where I think she's very much on the table once again.
2 runs on 7 hits, no errors, 4 left for Tennessee. No runs on 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 left for Alabama. With the win, Tennessee improves to 37-8 overall, 16-4 in conference play. Alabama falls to 31-14, 8-12 in the SEC. We'll take a timeout, come back with the Fast Signs of Tuscaloosa post-game report after this here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.